Happy New Year.
Yes.
How you doing?
We're still doing the new year. I'm doing good. Are you the person that likes to make goals or I don't know, kind of motivated by anything new?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of points in the year to try to like do things better.
Yeah.
Certainly in the lead up to the new year, I was like, I'm doing too much just like scrolling on my phone at nothing. So I transitioned in December. I was like, I'm gonna do games instead of you know, Twitter.
Yeah.
Games, that's better, right? That's like better for your brain. And now I'm just like refreshing Wordle, you know.
Oh, see, I'm addicted to my trail cams and my ranch, so I'm that crazy person.
That's so cool, though. That's
I just look at nature and
You're
like animals. Yeah, getting outside in my home in my bed. But congrats, man. Wicked for Good. It is so good. You do such a great job in it. That transformation, how long did it take to become Tin Man?
It took a good amount of time. You know, the first time we did it, it was about 5 hours.
No.
No. But it's because it's like this painstaking detail.
What do you do for 5 hours in a chair? I don't even like the hour and a half that it takes this to happen. Like, you know?
I mean, it's kind of misleading because it is 5 hours in the chair, but I'm not working. You know, there's like some amazing hair and makeup artists.
For sure, but you're just sitting there. What are you doing?
I watched School of Rock a bunch of times.
Okay. It's incredible though, man. They did such a good job.
I mean, I will say, I was watching on the little screen back there, the clip.
Yeah.
And I did feel like maybe it was gonna be a disappointment that it opened up and I wasn't silver.
I
was like, should I? Oh God, does anyone have an axe?
No, it's awesome, man. You did such an incredible job in it.
Thank you.
You have a new play. I want to talk about this, Marcel On The Train. Yes, you wrote this, I heard.
I did. I wrote it with Marshall Palett, yeah.
Yeah. Did you always want to do something like that? Like, you've always been a writer like that?
Yeah, I've loved writing, my whole life. I've been writing terribly since I was in middle school.
Hey, we all write horrible songs until the one good one comes along. Yeah.
That's right, yeah. The bad ones have to get out of the way to teach you that you're not good enough and you have to work harder to make it better. No, but it is a part of the process and it's fun. But I've always wanted to be a writer and I've been writing forever. This is my first like New York production. You know, sort of a full run of a show, and so I'm really proud of it. We've got an incredible cast that's come together to like buy into the vision, which is really cool.
How did you dial in on doing something about Marcel Marceau?
Yeah, well, I am obsessed with silent comedy, so I was doing all this research on silent film comedians, and then it led me to this thing about Charlie Chaplin, and there was all these people who were talking about Charlie Chaplin being Jewish, and I was like, I don't think he's Jewish, so I Googled Charlie Chaplin Jewish.
Yeah.
And it led me to the story of this young boy who loved Charlie Chaplin, a Jewish boy in France. He was obsessed with Charlie Chaplin. He joined the French Resistance, and he saved the lives of hundreds of Jewish orphans by smuggling them on a train from this orphanage in Limoges to the Swiss border. And he used his love of Charlie Chaplin and his, like, you know, whimsy or whatever to keep them calm and keep them safe. And then he grew up to become Marcel Marceau, the world's most famous mime. And I was just fascinated by this. And so I
did not know that about his history.
It's an amazing story, and he didn't talk about it a lot. He talked about it a little bit towards the end of his life, but it wasn't something he focused on a lot. So a lot of people don't know this story. And I called Marshall, and you know, Marshall's had just had his first son. He and his wife were in the hospital still, and I called him. I said, how's Kelly? How's the baby? Is everything okay? I have a really great idea that we should talk about when the time is right, when it's a better time.
How are you and your child? Okay, great.
Yeah, great.
So,
okay, anyway, forget about that. How is, So,
no, that's awesome, man. And to find a partner to write something that you're passionate about and you actually have fun researching.
Yeah. And look, we wrote this, we started writing it about four and a half years ago. And it felt really relevant, right? Like, it always feels kind of relevant, this story.
That's always the scary part.
It is.
When you watch something that was from so many years ago and you're like, oh, the fact that this applies right now is really unfortunate.
Yeah, and the way that it gets more and more relevant is scary. It's kind of true with Wicked in some ways, and especially Bach's storyline in Wicked, I think about this a lot.
The train situation, when the Munchkins,
And with Marcel, it's really true. At the time we were writing it, it was like this historical piece that felt relevant to today in one way or another. And now today, you know, at its core, the story of Marcel on the Train is about the right that children have to grow up without the fear of being hunted. It's about children avoiding soldiers to flee for their lives. And children have the right to grow up. That's what the play is about. And I think we see that in our world today, that we need to fight for that right for children to grow up, because unfortunately, we see children who are in the crosshairs.
Yeah.
And it's a horrible thing.
Yeah.
So sorry to bring it up. It's also for people who want to come see the show, and I hope you do.
Yeah.
Yes, it's about something really real. It's also a barrel of laughs.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it actually is. It's a really fun time.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, you know, sometimes you need.
In the darkest parts, you have to find humor. You have
Yeah.
to find. You have to be able to, and even like
And that's
the
what the story's about,
entertainment
yeah.
of him entertaining in these really terrible, tragic moments of their lives, like entertaining them to keep them, give them escapism, give them distraction,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Give them hope, but keep them safe. And also create beautiful memories.
Yeah.
And not let a period of time in their lives go without happiness.
Yeah.
Because
Very
happiness
cool.
is powerful.
Did you study like miming and stuff? Did you have to?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I've done a lot of clowning, and I've done little bits of mime here and there in acting classes and things like that.
Yeah.
But I definitely studied. We've consulted with people with mimes and with movement specialists, and I watch a lot of videos. I mean, I like giving myself homework assignments that are things that I love to do, which is like, sorry,
Yeah, 'cause it
I
doesn't
can't go
feel
out
like
tonight. I
homework.
got to go watch TV.
Yeah.
You know?
But because it's fun research.
It's fun research. Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you.
Because sometimes you have an idea, it's hard for it to come to fruition. You know, it takes a lot to actually write it out, do all the drafts, get it on Broadway. It takes so much time to get something from your head and heart out into the open. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a short break, everybody. Wicked for Good is now available for digital download, including tons of bonus features like a sing-along and deleted scenes. And be sure to go see Ethan's new play if you're in New York. It's called Marcel on the Train. It runs February 5th through March 14th at Classic Stage Company.